Hi guys, Freddy here. Welcome back to the desktop for another rules breakdown. And this time I'm going to be doing Steve Jackson's GURPS, the Generic Universal RolePlaying System. And I'm going to be using the basic set, the 3rd edition rules. Skill tests in GURPS uses 3d6. If we flick onto page 86, we can see that the skill use is determined by success checks. There we go, success rolls. Whenever your character attempts to use a skill, perform an action, attack a foe, etc., 3D dice are rolled to determine whether you succeed. This is a success roll. Sometimes you roll, sometimes the GM rolls for you. For your character to succeed in the attempt, the total rolled on the dice must be less than or equal to the skill or attribute you're using. Now obviously there are modifiers here, so attempting to pick a lock in the dark, they say there's a -5 at it. If you don't have the right tools, etc., etc. If it's a tough lock, then you would get a minus, but if it's a really easy old lock, then you would get a bonus. So it'd be easier to pick. Also, you can't attempt to do some things unless you have a skill, so nuclear physics and the like cannot be done by an untrained. If we flick onto one of the characters here, we can see that this character, Robin of the Meadows, has a fast talk skill of 13. So under basic circumstances, we roll 3d6. We add them up, so that's 12, 13, which equals the skill. So Robin just makes the fast talk roll. However, if there's any modifiers involved, you know, the character's got the likelihood of being suspicious, or Robin staggering out of a street covered in blood, or whatever, then there would have been a negative modifier to the skill, lowering his chance of success, and he would have failed. Initiative in GURPS is dealt with in the combat section. If I flick back to page 95, which I stuck my fingers in to mark it, we can see this turn sequence. The easy way, each player rolls a die, the winner goes first. Or the realistic way, you use the movement score, so whoever has the highest movement score goes first. So if we go back to Robin here, we can see Robin has a move of 6, but flicking over the page, we see that this Corwin Bearclaw only has a move of 4. So Robin goes before Corwin, and if they have the same, so having a look here, we can see Robin has a move of 6, as does Di Blackthorn here has a move of 6. So they're tied. However, you have your basic speed calculation, and Di Blackthorn has a higher basic speed. So between the two with 6s, Di goes first, and that's initiative. Now, combat in GURPS is just a matter of an ordinary skill test. So Robin of the Meadows here, using their knife, has a skill of 16, so must roll under 16. So 10, 14, succeeds in the attack. However, if they're attacking Corwin Bearclaw here, Corwin gets a chance of defense. Now they've got a passive defense here from their armor of 6. Now if they're using a shield to block, because they've got 3 points of shield there, they get half of their shield skill as well, which is another 6. So they get a chance of rolling against a skill of 12 to block the attack. Now they've rolled an 18. That is a terrible roll, so they've failed to defend. And that's what it simply is. You roll to attack, and then your target rolls to defend, using any passive defense they get from armor, plus their active defenses from parrying, blocking, etc. Damage in GURPS is equally simple. If we flick back to Robin, who did a successful hit, we can see that their large knife does 1d minus 1. So they get 1 dice, and they roll it, they get 5 minus 1, they've done 4 points of damage. And that's as simple as it is. Every weapon has its own damage type. If we flick over to Corwin Bearclaw there, we can see they've got a cheap short sword, which does 1d plus 2. They've got a large knife as well, which does 1d or 1d minus 1 if they're impaling. They've got a medium shield where they can do crushing damage for 1d plus 1. And every type of weapon has its own damage listed. Health in GURPS is dealt with your health score, HT, also standing for hits, and that's basically hit points. So doing 4 points of damage to Corwin Bitterclaw here, he has 12 points, so he is down to 8. And when you get reduced to 0 health, you drop to the ground unconscious, and any further damage kills you. Now, obviously, in some fantasy worlds and others, you can be healed back from the dead, but your character dies when they take damage beyond 0 points. Advancement in GURPS is in the character development section on page 81 of this rulebook, with improvement through adventure. Your basic attributes can be improved, and they cost twice the beginning score. So increasing a skill from 10 to 11 costs 20 points because the beginning cost is 10, so it costs double that. But given that increasing your attribute increases all the skills beneath it as well, it's well worthwhile. You can improve other things. You can buy new advantages for your character. You can buy off disadvantages. You can add and improve skills. When you improve a skill, the cost is the difference between your current skill level and the cost of the new skill. For example, you have a dexterity of 10 and a short sword skill of 13. This is dexterity plus 3 level. From the table on page 43, costs 16 points for a physical average skill. The next level of skill, DX plus 4, costs 24 points. So if we flick to page 43, we can see the points cost for skills. And we've got the table there showing you the difficulty of the skill and how much it costs to improve it. Mental skills and physical skills. And you've got aging if your character ages. What can also be done in GURPS is if your character gets an advantage through play, to keep balance, the Games Master can buy that off with the disadvantages. So your character's adventuring and they find a cybernetic enhancement lab and they get cybernetic arms fitted. Well, that obviously makes your character far better than everybody else without there being any cost to you. However, the Games Master can apply disadvantages to balance out the points for those advantages. So your character can improve by getting the cybernetic arms, but they can be chosen to be malfunctioning, or there's a corporation that can turn them off, or you're in debt and hunted by that corporation, or whatever. It's a very flexible way of powering up characters through play without letting one character become far more powerful than everybody else. And that's one of the real advantages of GURPS, that it's flexibility, that you can build in storyline aspects to your character advancement. Well, that is a very brief overlook of GURPS, the Generic Universal RolePlaying System. It's a very flexible game. It's a lot of fun. There are so many source books available for it that there's definitely something to interest almost anyone. But, as always, very many thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. But, most of all, you look after yourselves. And I'll catch you later. Bye now.